we're seeing two things tonight. On the one hand, we can report NBC projects Trump winning Iowa. So we start this cycle very differently than we started 16. In 16, tonight, Trump was 0-1, and everyone was going, oh, maybe he doesn't have it.
After having been favored in the polls, a surprise loss for him in Iowa in 2016.
Exactly. So this time, 8 years later, he starts 1-0. Last time, when Iowa came, most establishment Republicans and members of Congress wouldn't publicly go near him. This time, he has scared or willed or beaten them into it. As Joy, Chris, and others have talked about that and the looming violence that some Republicans even admit. The other big difference, of course, last time he was unindicted. A lot of civil cases, but unindicted. Now he's quadruple indicted, and hanging over all of this is whether he's convicted before Election Day. So I think there's a lot of differences. He starts, on the one hand, stronger than 16, but as Lawrence just said, so much weaker. And remember, in 16, 55% of Republican voters, when it was all said and done, picked someone other than Trump. And tonight in Iowa and other places, there are maybe 30, 40% plus at least open-minded to it, even if he's just won Iowa.
I have to interrupt. I have a little bit of an update from the decision desk. So as you know, the most important call is one that Ari just mentioned, which is that as of right now, based on the entrance polls and based on the results that we do have, NBC News projects that Donald Trump will be the winner of the Iowa caucuses. But we have an additional projection from the decision desk, which is interesting. Based on the entrance polls, based on what has been observed tonight at caucus sites in Iowa, the decision desk is projecting lower than expected turnout tonight in Iowa. Now, we don't know how much of this is due to the weather and how much of this is due to political factors or due to anything else. Record turnout in the Iowa Republican caucuses was in 2016. That was 186,000. The decision desk tonight is expecting turnout to be about 130,000. So we shall see. Again, that is a projected turnout, but that is significantly lower than the last time voters were considering Trump in Iowa in 2016.
And by the way, I mean, I think that the problem for Nikki Haley, as you said, is that you need passion to caucus, like it requires passion. But whatever happens with her tonight, I think we must remark upon the absolute tragedy of Ron DeSantis as a human being and as a politician. And I say this as somebody who spent 14 years in the great state of Florida. This man torched the state of Florida's education system by turning it into a grand apologist for slavery. He passed a 6-week abortion ban that he signed at midnight so that no one could see him do it, to match Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, in essentially condemning rape victims and incest victims to give birth at 10 years old, if that's what it takes, in order to get evangelicals to like him. All the things he did, he completely took the Republican Tallahassee entire Senate and House delegations, put them in his service. They had to essentially work for him, and they passed everything he asked them for one reason only, because he was going to win Iowa. Yeah. He put it all on Iowa. His whole ground game is Iowa. His whole strategy is Iowa. And he destroyed his political career in his home state, neglected his home state during 2 hurricanes, wore weird high boots and humiliated himself when he finally ran home to pretend that he was going to help his state, and neglected it. The highest insurance rates. It's impossible to get insurance in the state. Workers are leaving. His Latino workers, Hispanic workers are leaving because of draconian immigration law that his Republicans passed for him. It's hurting the agriculture industry, the construction industry. He's ruined the state, made it an anathema for business. He sued Disney, put himself at war with Mickey Mouse and lost and got humiliated by them. What has he not done that was stupid politically? All for one purpose. He did the ad where he said God created a fighter to get evangelicals to love him. And he's going to finish maybe in the 15s, maybe in the 20s in Iowa. And he's finished as a politician in Florida as a result.
Also, when Rachel said, of course, he has moved his whole operation to Iowa, I was like, all right, the dude's still governor. Yeah. Like, it's so wild that that's the case. Like, he's moved to, and he's making jokes about it. He said it's like a setup for a sitcom. Florida family moves to, like, Iowa in the middle of the, like, cold snap. And it's like, right, you are, like, still the, like, you know, it's one thing, I think Lawrence will agree with me, it's one thing to be a senator and do that, where, like, you fly back to D.C., whatever. But, like, you know, Florida's a big state. Right. Managing the state is some work. And it's pretty wild that he has also just taken leave of this incredibly important job, by and large, for months.
While the Florida Republican Party has just had to forcibly oust its state Republican Party chairman for the worst possible reasons. Google it. I have to tell you, we did just get that updated projection from the decision desk about the expected turnout, lower than expected turnout projected by the decision desk, expected to be around 130,000. That is 56,000 fewer people than turned out in 2016.